The 3rd Special Forces Group, abbreviated 3rd SFG and often simply called 3rd Group, is an active-duty United States Army Special Forces group, which was active in the Vietnam era, inactivated, and then reactivated in 1990. The 3rd SFG was primarily responsible for operations within the AFRICOM area of responsibility. As part of the Special Operations Command, Africa, its primary area of operations is now Africa as part of a 2015 SOCOM directive, but 3rd Group has also been involved in the Caribbean and the Greater Middle East. The 3rd SFG has seen extensive action in the War on Terror, and its members have distinguished themselves on the battlefield in Afghanistan. History: 1960's 3rd Group was first activated on 5 December 1963 at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. The 4 colors of the quadrants of 3rd Group's beret flash had arrived from the flashes of the pre-existing SF units from which 3rd Group's members were initially drawn. These colors are yellow, red, black, and white. 3rd Group was originally oriented towards the Middle East and Africa during the 1960s. The unit trained the armed forces of Mali, Iraq, Ethiopia, the Congo, and Jordan, in addition to supporting the Gemini 6 and 7 space launches in 1965. 3rd Group also worked with the 5th SFG in Vietnam. In 1966, 3rd Group assumed control of the 403rd Army Security Agency Special Operations Detachment and the 19th PSYOP Company over to 5th Group. With the Vietnamization of the conflict, the 3rd SFG was inactivated in 1969 and its members were transferred back to the other special forces groups, and subsequently helped plan the Saigon evacuation, becoming the last SF soldier to leave the country. 1990's The 3rd Special Forces Group was reactivated in 1990. Its initially consisted of the Caribbean and West Africa. New group members were drawn primarily from the 5th SFG. At the outbreak of the Gulf War, 3rd Group's only functioning battalion was deployed to Dhahran, Saudi Arabia, for 3 months. Its A teams carried out reconnaissance and sabotage missions into denied areas of Iraq and Kuwait. In February 1991, 3rd Group was tasked with the mission of securing and occupying the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait City. The 2nd BN and 3rd BN of 3rd Group were reactivated in 1991 and 1992, respectively. 3rd Group also took part in the restoration of democracy in Haiti in 1994. In the late 90s, 3rd Group helped train forces in Senegal, Uganda, Malawi, Mali, Ethiopia, and Trinidad and Tobago, among others. 2000s. In the fall of 2000, the 3rd SFG was involved in training and stabilization efforts in West Africa. Dubbed Operation Focus Relief by the State Department, the training mission was geared towards combating the Revolutionary United Front. Since 9/11, the 3rd SFG has been heavily involved in Afghanistan and Central Asia. 2 of 3rd Group's battalions spend roughly 6 months out of every 12 deployed to Afghanistan as part of Combined Joint Special Operations Task Force Afghanistan. In 2008, 10 members of ODA 3336 were awarded Silver Stars for combat action during the Battle of Shock Valley. It was the largest set of citations for a single battle since the Vietnam War. After the citations were Reed, then commander of United States Army Special Operations Command, Lieutenant General John F. Mulholland, Jr., stated, members of the 3rd SFG were involved in the invasion of Iraq. 26 Green Berets from the group were given the task of securing a key crossroads near Debeka in northern Iraq between the cities of Erbil and Kirkuk. If they succeeded, they would cut Highway 2, preventing the Iraqi army moving north into Kurdistan and allow friendly forces to take the crucial Kirkuk oil fields. The 26 Green Berets were divided into two A teams, Oda 391 and Oda 392. They were equipped with GMVs, modified Humvees with 50 caliber HMGs, and marked Chapter 19 grenade launchers that could travel 1,000 miles without resupply. The ODAs conducted battle training in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and Fort Pickett, Virginia between October and December 2002. On March 8, 2003, the ODAs flew from Pope Air Force Base to Romania, and on the 26th of March 2003 they infiltrated northern Iraq via AMC 130 combat Talon, landing at Al-Sulaymaniya, some 60 miles east of Kirkuk. In the first few days in Iraq, they participated in Operation Viking Hammer, and then on April 1, 2003, they moved to Erbil and onto a staging area where they linked up with ODA 04 for 10th SFG and the Peshmerga allies. On April 4, 2003, they were given a new mission, code-named Northern Safari. They were to seize the Debeka intersection until relieved by the 173rd Airborne Brigade's artillery component. On April 5, they moved into position to seize the intersection, and then on April 6 they ran into Iraqi army forces and the Battle of Debeka Pass ensued, resulting in American and Peshmerga victory. The Special Forces secured the crossroads and endured 2 days of Iraqi artillery fire and then into Kirkuk to secure the oil facilities to prevent the destruction by Iraqi forces. In October 2010, Staff Sergeant Robert James Miller was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor. On January 25, 2008, Miller's team was ambushed during a combat reconnaissance patrol in Kunar province near the Pakistan border. Miller's commander was seriously wounded within the first minutes of the attack. Wounded and under intense enemy fire, Miller held his ground and laid down suppressive fire on multiple insurgent positions, which allowed his wounded commander to be pulled out of the line of fire and his teammates to safely reach cover. Miller single-handedly eliminated several insurgents before succumbing to his wounds. The 1st Battalion, 3rd SFG were awarded the Canadian Commander-in-Chief Unit Commendation on the 23rd of May 2012, for their actions during Operation Medusa in 2006. The ceremony was presided by Major General Charles Cleveland, the commander of USASOC, and the award presented by CEFCOM Commander Lieutenant General Stuart Baird on behalf of the Governor-General of Canada. The 1st Battalion, 3rd SFG is the first non-Canadian unit, and 7th overall, to receive this honor. The citation read: Organization, Headquarters and Headquarters Company, 1st Battalion, 2nd Battalion, 3rd Battalion, 4th Battalion, activated on the 18th of August 2009. Group Support Battalion. Notable officers and soldiers. Staff Sergeant Robert James Miller, Medal of Honor recipient. Captain Daniel W. Eggers, namesake of Camp Eggers, Afghanistan. Brigadier General Edward M. Reeder, Jr., former Commander, U.S. Army Special Forces Command. Captain Jeffrey MacDonald, M.D., convicted in 1979 of 3 1970 murders at Fort Bragg. Master Sergeant Stan Goff, former SF Ops Sergeant and political activist. Staff Sergeant Raymond Allen Davis, civilian CIA contractor in diplomatic row with Pakistan. CW3 Jason Myers, Distinguished Service Cross recipient, Khost Province, Afghanistan.